Hello there everybody, Sabata92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Rose Guns Day, Season 2. Now, apparently according to some people, I left off and I could have gone to a really good spot, but I actually, I couldn't save from this screen, so I had to go back and redo pretty much that entire sequence just to get to a point where I could actually save, which was not really that annoying considering I, was enjoying the story. But it was slightly annoying, even though I just clearly just said it was not annoying, so therefore I just went back on what I was saying, therefore I'm an idiot. Now then, I'm guessing we're going to get started on attacking Club Primavera? Not entirely sure, maybe they're just going to scope out the area. But, regardless, we've got Meiju and we've got Butler on our side for the time being. Managed to get a bunch of weapons and, oh boy. Alright, to the shooting range! Oh! Cool, Rose is practicing. Yeah. Come on, Rose. Yeah. Whew. Great. I'm surprised. Thought I'd have to lead you hand in hand from square one. Butler was frankly surprised to see Rose's excellent shooting. Well, she has a great teacher. A glance at the target was enough to tell him that her accuracy was far better than what you'd expect from an amateur. However, her instructor Cyrus scolded her relentlessly. You're still stiff! You're letting the gun take control! I'm sorry. You scared of guns? You think they're a tool for killing people? That's wrong! Guns are for protecting, not for yourself, but for the people you're trying to protect. A moment's hesitation will give your opponent time to pull the trigger. Because of your hesitation, the bullet he fires might go through the chest of someone you're trying to protect. Shoot, shoot, shoot! A gun isn't a tool, it's a part of your body. Keep on shooting and shooting until it feels like a part of your hand. Yes, sir! Okay, balls to the wall, she is really going. Oh. Just saw the Wayne down there. At least I think that was a Wayne. There we go. Ooh, even a new one. Just aim for the Waynes. Just don't shoot Wayne. There's that demon sergeant for you. Pretty strict. With a practiced motion, Rose rapidly changed magazines and resumed firing with a stern expression. Rose had always been serious and earnest. Once she made up her mind to fight, she was a quick learner. To tell the truth, Butler didn't like seeing Rose holding a gun. However, as a captain of the occupying forces, he had to encourage them to fight. In that case, he had no choice but to train her thoroughly and hope that she came out of this alive. Off to the side of the shooting range, Leo seemed to be instructing Wayne in combat. He was acting out a series of motions designed to wrench up the arm of a foe holding a gun and stealing their weapon. Now there's a surprise. Didn't know the Japanese army had their own CQC techniques. Yeah, the classic Japanese martial arts have plenty of technique to deal with someone armed with a knife. This is an extension of those. Damn, that's a good move. He got my gun before I knew what was going on. Want some seconds? Again. I'll take a few more of those and ingrain the movements into my body. They were acting out a situation where Wayne pulled out a gun and pointed it at Leo at close range. Then Leo would grab Wayne's arm holding the gun, slowly force it down, and slip the gun out of his hand. Now you try it. The captain's watching, so make it look cool. All right, let's do it. Leo pulled out his gun at close range. With a fairly skillful motion, Wayne grasped hold of his arm. Bang, you died. Damn it. Don't make me say it over and over again. Make sure the line of the gun barrel never touches your body. Stick to your enemy. Then, draw a nice big circle with his arm. Don't try to cut corners by making it small. That's why the gun barrel's pointing at you. Once you've gotten the arm this far, you can cook things up however you like. Ignore what I just said. You might make a jab at their solar plexus, for instance. And if you spin their body around from here, I'll make a pretty good shield. Or you could try slamming them to the floor and whispering sweet nothings in their ear.
Okay, God, stop. I get it. I give up. Hey there, Wayne. Could you stop flirting around already? It's time to iron out your shooting. Get over here.
So it's finally my turn. Let's do it. Wayne went to the shooting booth alongside Rose's. Leo watched him go, waving his hand with a "keep it up, kid," before plopping down on a shabby sofa. It hurts my heart to send a young man like that to the front lines. Wonder if that means I'm getting old. How old are you? History's always been made by the young. It's not fair for old geezers to take guns out of the hands of the young and keep history all to themselves. That's hardly something I'd expect to hear from a people that used to ban swords. For centuries, this country had no concept of protection for private citizens. Protecting your life and safety was thought to be something filthy. A job for the nation instead of the individual. It's almost funny. Can't believe that people like that proclaimed that they were gonna free all of Asia. True enough. The Japanese are too fastidious about pretty much everything. They've got so many hypocrites who love fried chicken but couldn't bear to wring a chicken's neck. In the age when the country could protect the people, they could get away with that. That's not true anymore. Japan has been destroyed. We're the people of a lost nation. To protect ourselves, we have to pick up our own guns. It does sound troubling. But you're planning to make Rose-chan shoot too. I could understand if it was for self-defense. But that style of shooting isn't how you'd protect yourself. That style is for shooting down enemies. Are you planning to drag her out into a gunfight too? Rose needs a legend. A legend? Yeah. She needs a legend about how she shot down Father Caleb with her own hands. A woman with nothing but good looks won't have enough charisma to control the criminal underworld. Are you saying she can become a woman of legend? She can. They'll make her a legend in the City 23 underworld. Japanese men love romantic tales like that. Without at least something like that, she'll never be able to earn the respect of those mafia men. So, you're trying to make her the Madame of Primavera family in the truest sense. That woman will lead this city forward. Ah, damn it. Okay, 88% hit rate. I can do better. At least I got a runner. That's the important thing. All right, to the Rich Bamboo Salon. I freaking love the music of Rose Guns Days. It's great. When they called James to request a meeting, he responded saying that he wanted to introduce them to some people. In particular, several powerful leaders in the Caleb family. Every one of them had enough ability to rule over their own families. Now that Caleb had gotten himself stuck by letting the occupying forces provoke him and crossing several lines, these men weren't likely to continue swearing allegiance to him forever. On the inside, they knew their ship had run aground. However, it wouldn't be easy to betray Caleb, and they had nowhere else to go. In other words, James had brought together the key members that might possibly go along with Leo's plan. Oh.
I am Richard Marogi, in charge of Primavera's financial affairs. It is a pleasure to meet you. You do realize there's a price on your head, don't you?
Pretty hard to believe you even showed up today. You don't think any of us would try and sell you out?
No one's beyond a bit of betrayal, as long as there's money in it, that is. Love and friendship don't exist in the underworld. Everything's just a gamble. Winning horses and losing horses, that's all that matters.
If all of you wish to sell me out, all I have to do is prove that you've more to gain by joining us. Doesn't the fact that all of us have gathered here prove that you are hoping for something? Hey, the guy's got guts.
Which means you gotta explain what makes your horse so strong. If you can't do that, we'll just tie you up and throw you in a trunk right here.
Miguel's just been itching to take a slice out of you. I'll hand this over to Leo. Threats are not my specialty.
So, you want us to explain what makes our horse so strong? Well, we feed it Wheaties every morning.
What's so funny?
You've let me down, James. Couldn't you find anyone better than this?
What did you say? A little horse bodyguard like you'd better watch his mouth.
No need to get so fired up, everyone. It seems this meeting was arranged so that Primavera could present. Oh, I forgot what voice I was going with him. It seems this meeting was arranged so that Primavera could present us with a small gift. All of us have it rough financially. Those are the times we live in, after all. That's what I was using. If not, I'm going to try to memorize that. Because of that, Richardson is offering to give us a little support.
If you're looking to bribe us, you'd better be hiding a big stack of money somewhere. James is the one who's introducing you to us. Means we can expect a lot out of you, don't it?
Richard, if you will.
These are for you all. Please accept them.
Richard opened up the trunk and placed a small object wrapped in silk before each of them. Then, in front of James alone, he placed a small envelope.
So, just how much you got wrapped up in here? Let's have a look. Isn't this a bit small?
When they opened the bundles without hesitation, a single wrapped stack of fresh bills appeared, so crisp that it looked like you could cut yourself on the edges.
A single bundle of $1,000 bills? Huh.
In other words, it was 100,000 Japanese dollars for each of them. More than enough to hand out as a greeting.
Considering that you've been on the run, this is pretty impressive.
But if you put this on a scale with Father Caleb, it doesn't even come close, does it?
The bundle given to their leader, James, also had a stack of $1,000 bills. So the envelope he had received in addition to the stack caught everyone's interest. The bosses were sure it held a check for an enormous sum. These packs of money were little more than business cards, so a large check would make sense. Surely the message was that they could split that check if they agreed to be bribed. Mind if I open this now? Please, go ahead. I thought you in particular would be pleased by that, so I brought it for you. Just a little surprise present. Is it a Tomotaki doll? When James opened the envelope, another $1,000 note appeared. Just a single $1,000 bill. The boss's eyes went wide with confusion. Take a look at the serial number.
Now there's a surprise. 777777. How rare.
There's a gift from Madame Rose. You are a gambler after all. Might as well keep it as a good luck charm. Or something. Oh-ho. Quite an unexpected present. Thank you, Leo. Richard. Tell Madame Rose I'm grateful to receive such a wonderful present. It's no big deal. Just a thing whose worth wouldn't be apparent to anyone but you.
So, if you have no objections, allow us to take our leave. James-san, and everyone else gathered here. We ask that you lend us your aid in our mission.
We'll contact you again, James. We hope for a favorable answer. Leo and Richard left. The room fell silent again. Damn, a bill with a bunch of sevens? That's pretty cool. After a short pause, it exploded in a burst of laughter.
They really think that'll be enough, do they? I see how little they think of us.
Looks like they're taking even the great James Tomotaki for a fool, eh?
Fools.
What's that? Haven't you figured it out yet? Can't you see that they're putting you to the test? They're trying to see if we got the brains to be worthy of joining Primavera. If those stocks of bills look like a few paltry $100,000, get your asses out of the black market.
James furiously rose to his feet. The other bosses didn't have a clue what was going on.
You still don't see it, do you? Turn those bundles over and look at the wrapper.
On the reverse side, there was a banker signature indicating that there were 100 bills in the stack, as well as the name of the bank. China Japan Bank, Katsushika Branch.
Katsushika?
You mean City 22?
The meaning of that slowly seeped into their brains. Then James held up that bill with a series of lucky sevens, slamming it on the table.
Do you think a bill with all the savings would just be floating around the city? Normally a bill like this would be taken directly of the presses and sent to the chief or one of his gangs.
Of course, Japanese dollars are being produced under American supervision. In that case, it was clear who the original owner of this bill was.
And this is Madame Rose's present to us. Don't you get it now? Can't you see that they are being backed by Chinatown and the occupying forces? Not the GHQ itself. Impossible. In that case, the occupying forces really are opposed to the father.
And that's not all. If even Chinatown was on their side.
Nice. The bosses were now completely aware of the magnitude of the situation. They whispered to each other, glancing over to see James's expression.
Ah, dang it, Madame Rose. That's one hell of a present.
James held the lucky bill up to the light and growled. By now, it didn't take someone as clever as him to see who the next ruler of City 23 would be.
Damn right! Oh my god, that was good. Alright.
I'm guessing we're stoking out Primavera. The streets that once bloomed as brilliantly as a nighttime flower were now little more than a memory. Even Club Primavera had gone to seed. The regular customers with their clever jokes and the gentlemen with their gracious tips were all gone. The bodyguards here to protect Amanda were always wandering about. Their punk underlings were always making passes at the girls to stave off boredom. The depths the club had sunk to were devastating to behold. The ruler of this place, Amanda, rarely ever showed herself around here these days.
I don't think I've seen her since last week. She's hardly ever around lately. She may call herself the madam, but she never comes to the club.
I see. That's annoying. It was a phone call from Merrill. For the first step of the feint attack strategy, it was essential that Amanda be taken hostage upon returning to Primavera. Unless that happened, there was a chance Caleb wouldn't send reinforcements. They had to plan for a day that Amanda would definitely be present.
Okay. As soon as we know, we'll contact you. Leave it to us. All the girls in this club are on our side. We know that someday Madame Rose will get the captain's help and chase them all out.
You can count on that. Rose has been reborn. She's prepared to fight all out as our madam. She's already made arrangements with many of our allies to prepare for the fight.
It's so reassuring to hear you say that. This time we'll definitely fight alongside Rose. So please, take back our Primavera.
What you're saying is the complete truth, right?
Of course.
Rose will fight. Of course we will too. However, I won't let anyone sit around and enjoy the show while we do all the dirty work.
Of course. Well, if you're asking us to take a gun like you and fight, that might be pretty hard. Still, we don't plan on sitting around. We'll give it all our all too.
The girls were doing every little thing they could to bear as much of the risk themselves as possible. After all, even contacting Merrill from this place, one of Caleb family's favorite hangouts, was extremely dangerous in itself. They may not have been prepared to pick up guns, but their resolve was no less firm than if they were.
Amanda's Caleb's one trump card. If he lets her slip away, then even recapturing the club won't be a victory for him.
Yeah, we'll give it our all.
Unless Amanda's bodyguards were complete fools, their first priority in case of an attack would be to evacuate her immediately. Because of that, the ladies of the club would have to quietly capture Amanda right before the attack.
Can you do it? It'll take guts to pull this off.
We've got to do it, don't we? So we will. This could be our only chance to teach Amanda a lesson after all. Shh, Amanda sounds here. Sorry, we'll call back later. Bye.
She set the receiver down hurriedly and dashed out of the office in a fluster. At the other end of the corridor, Amanda was approaching, followed by her guards. With an apologetic attitude, the girls tried to dash past Amanda.
Hold on. What is it, Madam Amanda? Is there something? No, it's nothing. Forgive me for stopping you. Okay, we'll be on our way then.
For a while, Amanda stared at their quickly retreating backs. As a leader among women, those creatures of strong instincts, Amanda's own intuition was considerable. She entered an empty office, but the scent and presence of those women still clearly remained. It was enough for Amanda to tell that they had been talking about something at length with sweaty hands. Something exciting and tense.
What's wrong, madam?
Oh, it's nothing.
It was a sensitivity that the men surely couldn't begin to grasp. If she explained that the scent of those women still lingered here, they would probably agree to that much. But if she told them that they had been making a secret phone call to Rosa's group, they would probably have said that there was no evidence. Unlike men, there were things that could be seen by women without their eyes. Thanks to that, she had guessed even what they had been talking about. Oh, no.
Could you tell those girls to come in here?
Yes, madam.
It looks like you're finally ready to come of age. Not just as a mere leader of ladies of the evening, but as something with much greater ideals.
Oh.
Did you call for us, Madam Amanda? Oh, my apologies for summoning you. Would you mind setting up a room for me? A room? It's been dangerous out there lately, hasn't it? Still, I've grown tired of changing my lodgings every night.
But that's no good, madam. If the worst happens...
I have decided. Do you wish to object? You don't, do you?
Understood.
So that's that. For the next 3 days, I'll spend the night in this club. Please let all the others know, if you would. Thank you, Amanda.
The girls looked at each other in excitement at this unexpected big news. They would probably rush off and report to Stella and the rest. The guards seemed agitated too. After all, this is the first time Amanda had ever spoken of spending the night at Primavera. Amanda shooed them all away and was alone. Then she sat down on the sofa across from the madam's chair and gazed up at the ceiling. Oh, she's not literally sitting in the madam's chair, she's sitting across from it.
I'm so glad, Rose. Just once at the very end, I'll get to see you in all your splendor.
Okay, Amanda is actually helping. I didn't see that coming, but that's good. 3 cars drove into an uptown back alley. Sorry about that. Then, when the cars reached the back door of a large hotel, those inside got out and quickly walked into the building. Caleb stood at the front of the group. The man who'd boasted of uniting the C-23 underworld and of dealing with the occupying force on an even footing was now changing hotels every few days in fear of assassins. Yeah, in the past he had swaggered about boldly. However, now he entered via a car parked at the back door, quickly disappearing inside without striding across the luxurious lobby. Damn it. That's enough to make you cry.
Caleb, you shouldn't stand around outside.
Yeah, I get it. You're right. After getting Caleb to move along, Miguel looked around in all directions. Once he was sure that there was no suspicious-looking people lurking in the shadows, he hurried into the hotel too. Several high-class hotels offered suite rooms to the Caleb family for free, in place of protection money. By hopping from one to the other, Caleb was trying to make it harder to locate his position. Smart. His high-ranking subordinates knew this too, but they would have no idea which hotel he was staying at. He is thinking smart, in a way. However, even this behavior was limited to the hotels Caleb favored. Oh. After their meeting, James Tomataki promised to support Primavera. Little by little, various bits of information regarding Caleb's surroundings were leaked out. Eventually, this evolved into a list of the hotels Caleb circulated through. And he's getting cornered. Now all that was needed was strength in numbers. That was where Chinatown excelled. That entire sequence of events, from Caleb's cars approaching the back of the hotel to his men vanishing within the building, had been witnessed by a man looking down on them from a roof in a nearby building. So, we finally got him by the tail.
Information certainly is like a tail. If you pull it in slowly, you're bound to catch something big.
That list of hotels we got from James had been a powerful weapon.
Under normal circumstances, switching between hideouts isn't an effective way to hide.
Ah, true enough. It is a strategy used only when a fear of traitors exists.
It means he knows better than anyone else. The curtain's falling on the Caleb Empire. All we have to do is give our stamp of approval. Good wording.
We've seen signs of him using every hotel on the list. He spends between 1 and 3 days at each location.
And the choice of hotel is completely random?
Most likely. We haven't been able to find any pattern.
Oh, now she's speaking. In Chinese, I guess.
Rumor has it he's using Miguel's intuition and whims to decide which hotel and how long to stay there.
There's no way a man like Caleb could manage such an elaborate concealment strategy. Indeed, the support of that man, Miguel, with his exceptional instincts, must count for a lot.
There's no one harder to read than him. No matter how much we read into their movements, Miguel's the one person I doubt we'll ever trick.
There's no need to fear. We have Leo Shishigame on our side.
Okay, I get it. I'll start studying Chinese for real from now on. So, can we please stick to Japanese just for today? I feel like I'm missing out on some fun here.
I'm sorry, I just slipped into Chinese. I guess you're the only one out of the loop.
This here is the Belton Plaza Hotel. It is the furthest hotel from Primavera.
In other words, X days whenever Caleb next visits that place. We'll make the enemy focus on Primavera and have the captain block the roads.
Then the police will round them up, leaving Caleb isolated.
We'll have no way to tell that he's coming to this hotel until immediately before he enters it. Correct. All we can do is observe the hotel and wait for him to appear.
In other words, we're all set to go, and now we're just waiting for Caleb.
Well, as to that, wasn't the assault to be split into 2 groups attacking Primavera and the hotel? Have you finished selecting members for both groups?
We've left it to Leo and Cyrus to decide that. They'll be the leaders of the 2 teams, and Meryl and I'll probably go to Primavera.
I wonder which will become a fiercer battlefield.
If the surprise attack succeeds completely, the hotel should be much safer. Caleb will only have a minimum number of bodyguards on him. On the other hand, Primavera will have enemy reinforcements swarming around it.
However, I can't imagine Caleb and Miguel falling for such a surprise attack so easily.
Realistically, Caleb and Miguel are the most dangerous, realistically, in this operation. I mean, fuck. Miguel's he's a mentally unstable boy who probably needs some tender loving medication. But realistically, they are definitely the most dangerous out of the group. I mean, sure, there's power in numbers, but when you got 2 people that basically have the force of like 100 and just I'm just saying that they're dangerous.
Exactly. We've got no idea which battle will end up being the fiercest. What do you think, Leo?
I'm really sorry. You guys were speaking in Chinese. I have no clue. Ni hao's the only Chinese I know.
I can introduce you to an excellent Chinese class, Leo-san. And of course, the teacher will be one of those glamorous women you love so much.
Oh, I forgot. I know what I need too. Oh my god. That was adorably nice. Oh, wait, are we back here? Oh, wait. City 1 in the Tokyo metropolis, located in the old Chiyoda city. It had once been the core of the Empire of Japan, the place where all the authority and functions of the capital were gathered. That had not changed after the American and Chinese occupation. The headquarters of the Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces, otherwise known as General Headquarters or the GHQ. On paper, the Japanese government still governed Japan after the ending of the war, but it goes without saying that this was a puppet government. Everyone who didn't conform to their views had been chased out of the administration. So there could be no doubt that this place was the core of post-war Japan. Oh dear. The building was split with perfect symmetry along its center. Death the Kid would be proud. Divided into east and west without a millimeter's deviation. The east side housed the governing forces of the American Army, while the west side contained those of the Chinese Army. At one point, the two sides had been locked into battle over which would name a supreme commander for the Japanese occupation. However, since both sides feared such a struggle might produce roadblocks for the governing of Japan, they had pushed the matter to the side. So basically it's like left Twix and right Twix. In other words, the Americans and the Chinese had formed a twisted government in which both sides named a supreme commander. Decisions were made based on talks between the two. Of course, neither side was allowed any room for compromise in these discussions. This GHQ was the front line of a new battlefield between America and China. Because of this, both countries set in the best of the best to serve as their supreme commanders. The Chinese government dispatched a man possessing one of the best minds in the entire CMC. Of course, the American government also sent in a man with a great mind. This man had entered the United States Military Academy at West Point with top grades. Oh. When he graduated from there, it was with one of the highest grades ever recorded at that institution. Oh, we're getting an important character here? After performing magnificently in World War I, he eventually became the Army's youngest Major General. Youngest? How old is he? He went on to become Chief of Staff of the United States Army, Army Commander in the Far East, and the Supreme Commander Southwest Pacific Area. God! In 1944, he was promoted to the 5-star rank of General of the Army. With his sharp wits, he had taken the initiative in the government of Japan. The man's name was Douglas. Was it now? Douglas MacArthur. Oh. MacArthur walked out of the conference room, having a pleasant chat with the Chinese Supreme Commander Liang through an interpreter. Behind them followed the Directors General for the 23 independent cities within the Tokyo metropolis. The American and Chinese officers bowed to each other respectfully before splitting off into their respective buildings to the east and west. Beyond the barrier formed by those bowing officers, Butler stood. The last in the line of Directors Generals was the Director General of City 23. When he saw Butler, he signaled to him with a small nod. Butler turned and walked away, a satisfied smile on his face. Oh?
Welcome back, Captain.
Congratulations, Rose-chan. Looks like we're go. Of course, that doesn't mean you get a blank check to run wild.
I understand. Primavera and Caleb's hotel. We'll endeavor to limit the gun combat to those two areas, and to keep it as small as possible.
On paper, this will be a military police operation for maintaining the public order. I'm counting on you. Got it?
I understand. We'll see to it that nothing happens to tarnish your reputation, Captain. Wayne-kun, I know you might get overexcited, but we're trusting you.
I understand, Rose-san. This isn't a street fight between brats. It's war.
You've got that right. No doubt about it. This is war. Yeah. It kind of is. Oh, we getting started? On that day, all the important people were gathered in a guest house hideout. By Wayne's recollection, there were 7 people from Primavera, including Relio and Rose. Also, 3 people from the occupying forces with Butler, and 5 people from the Golden Dragon Society with Meiju. First, the person most responsible for carrying out this plan, Leo, pointed to a map with Belton Plaza Hotel in Primavera and began to explain. He went into detail describing the assault on Primavera, which would entail a precise strategy centered around taking Amanda hostage.
If we can't capture Amanda, nothing else matters.
Got it. Right before we strike, we make contact with one of our people on the inside. They'll grab Amanda.
Sure is lucky that Amanda spent her nights at the club.
Even God's on our side. Or is this more like divine punishment?
Will they truly be safe? The girls in the club. If they cannot restrain Amanda, our plan will crumble right from the start. It's the most worrying part of this strategy.
Don't worry. The girls have plenty of fighting spirit right now.
Plus, they're even more pissed at Amanda than we are, right? They'll be able to handle it.
For some reason, those club girls do seem to find strength when they band together.
It's alright. I'm sure it will work.
Do you have any basis for that certainty?
I'm sure Amanda-san's smart enough not to offer a pointless resistance. It won't take her long to understand. She'll notice the winds are changing again.
Agreed. That woman's an adult on top of being smart.
Feel the same way, too. She's not the kind of person who'd waste her last moments. It should be more than possible to secure her without the club bodyguards noticing.
Well, that and she is
Kind of helping us, so...
At the same time Amanda was taken hostage, Cyrus's group would leave from the hotel across the street and attack Primavera. Since Amanda would be their hostage, it was hard to imagine much resistance from her bodyguards, but there were probably a few punk-level guys among them. Oh, I do not doubt it. There was at least some danger of someone reflexively firing off a shot and starting a gunfight.
We've just gotta ad-lib our way through that. Anyway, a lightning war is what we're looking for here.
Lightning war? You mean like rapid war that's, settled as soon as it started? I think that's what it's referring to.
We'll stage a holdup while they're getting themselves drunk like they always do.
That'd be the most beautiful result. To suddenly take back the club without having to raise a gun.
Perfect kind of elegance for the ladies of the evening. Leave it to us, Cyrus. I don't want to see our beloved club covered in bullet holes.
That is the first stage of the plan. The next part is when the battle begins.
We could have Amanda-san contact him herself, or we could let one of her bodyguards escape and have that person pass on the message. It shouldn't take long for Caleb-san to find out that Amanda-san has been taken hostage.
With Caleb on the ropes, he can't afford to make a weak move.
Surely he will summon a great army to take Amanda-san back.
That group will be rounded up by the police, but we want to reel in as many of them as possible.
There is the possibility that, we haven't really heard Caleb mention anything concerning Amanda. Again, this is me, not giving Amanda-san the... I just started calling her Amanda-san. Giving her the benefit of the doubt here. So, again, she could either really just be helping us, or she's on the ruse of helping us, and she could have easily just told Caleb about the plan. And they're just kind of walking into a trap. You know what I mean? But, again, I'm going to give Amanda the benefit of the doubt.
Got it. If we want to catch a big one with our bait, my group will have to make a show of fighting back.
The police will come, but they won't be standing and wait nearby. Don't let your guard down.
I'm really sorry about that. I can't guarantee that we've got no bad cops who are in touch with Caleb. The plan was to gather up the Caleb family around Primavera, then have the police arrest them. However, the lower-level policemen had been told nothing of this. After all, they couldn't deny the possibility that one of the officers was an informant for Caleb. Because of that, it would be made to look like the police had been dispatched from the station upon receiving a call from Primavera. So it wasn't like having a magic button that could drop all the enemies surrounding Primavera into pits.
We'll set up a barricade in the club and prepare for a siege battle. Fortunately, Primavera was built to be surprisingly secure. Before things get started, we'll have the club girls get to work on sealing these entrances.
Once we have control inside the club, we'll gather up all the girls and have them help set up the barricade. up against troops back from the front lines. They'll probably be cautious. That's why setting up a barricade'll work. Keep your wits about you, everyone.
Hey, this is an easy job for us.
And make sure you keep your wits about you, Rose.
It was also possible that reinforcements would slip through the police's net and return to protect Caleb.
We're counting on the captain again there.
Our captain's got all kinds of chances to act the hero.
Hey, I've got American blood flowing through my veins, don't I?
The police and military police will cut off the main streets heading towards the hotel. That way, Caleb will be cut off from any assistance.
That would be the most ideal result. Once the police start moving, we will contact Rose.
And that's when we will start moving.
The three of us, me, Wayne, and Rose, will take Caleb down.
Yeah. Silence fell in the room. Each step didn't take long to describe, but they had no idea how dangerous each would be. It might be over before they knew it. However, they might run into terrifying resistance. The most unpredictable situation was Leo's group attacking the hotel.
In all the hotels that Caleb hides out in, they've taken control of an entire floor of suite rooms. That's extremely fortunate for us, since we don't want to drag any innocent people into this. But regardless of whether Caleb is staying on that floor at the moment, Miguel's men are always stationed there and on their guard.
They're elite guards specially selected by Miguel-san himself. Unfortunately, if we tried to lie in wait inside the hotel beforehand, they would almost certainly find us. We'll have to observe the hotel from the outside, rush inside it, and search for Caleb-san.
We already have a man inserting among the hotel staff. Furthermore, we have arranged for a normal room to be reserved and loaded with weapons and ammunition.
Jeez. They didn't know what would happen. Having some weapons ready to be used couldn't hurt. So they had filled up one of the hotel rooms with weapons beforehand. Thanks. Now we can fire off as much as we want.
But take care not to injure any innocent people.
I know. Just one look at their eyes is all I need to see if they're a sheep or a wolf.
It'll be okay. Once Wayne and I start making a show, all the good kids will run away to go hug their pillows.
I'll ask that you finish things quickly and quietly like ninjas.
Otherwise, this time Caleb will be the one barricaded in. Even if his reinforcements have been cut off, it is conceivable that Caleb has many weapons hidden on that suite floor. Yeah, probably. That's what I would do.
But he'll still be a rat in a trap. He won't escape.
Once he's cut off from support, I think even Caleb-san will listen to what we have to say.
You think so? That man?
Yes. He's another person who bears the lives of a great many people. When he realizes he's been completely defeated, I think he'll surrender.
I want to believe that. Most of the people here thought Rose should go to Primavera, not the hotel. However, Rose herself had fiercely opposed this. She said she wanted to persuade Caleb. Men don't always calculate things based on profit and loss. It's possible he'll stubbornly refuse to accept defeat and try to take you down with him.
I agree with Wayne. I understand too. He's another person who's failed to die. To him, the war still isn't over. It's a bit hard for me to believe that you can shatter a man's delusion with just a few words. Rather than persuading him, we should think about ending his war.
Killing Caleb-san isn't our highest priority. Our goal is only to attack him as a step of dissolving the Caleb family. If he understands the situation and surrenders, there'll be no need to kill him.
Rose...
I understand how you feel, but he would continue to exist as a source of discord in City 23. Keeping the worst case scenario in mind, we had better use this chance to settle things with him once and for all.
No. Killing him is not our highest priority.
We ought to kill him. He has his own ideals and an iron will determined to see them through. I find it hard to believe that you will succeed in persuading him to abandon his ideals.
No, we won't kill him! Not as long as he surrenders. That's my decision as the madam. I won't let anyone dispute that point, not even you.
Damn. Got shut down like that. If you say so. I can only pray that your softness doesn't lead to trouble somewhere down the line.
Normally, Richard wasn't the sort of person who would suggest taking a human's life. However, this was a war, and a vital event that would decide the future of City 23. No, the future of their countrymen. For Richard, who had always assumed the worst-case scenario, Rose's decision probably did sound naive.
Leo, I'll leave it to your judgment on the scene.
I understand. However, the truth is I'd rather not kill him too, if it were possible. He's always been the one treating me to meals. Just once, I'd like to return the favor.
Are we decided? It's a war between Primavera and Caleb. It's not our place to object.
That completes the overview of our plan. The day we carry it out is undecided. We'll do it when Caleb shows up at the Belton Plaza Hotel. Until that day, we'll be waiting in our respective hideouts.
Leo's group was hiding out in a place where they could observe the hotel. Cyrus's group was laying low in a cheap hotel across the street from Club Primavera. X day might come tonight, or it could come a month from now. But eventually it would come. Silence fell once again. Someone gulped and it sounded loud enough that everyone in the room heard it. Then Rose smiled in a way that calmed everyone down.
Oh, and by the way, while you're hiding out, we've got some excellent service for you. We're planning to distribute special dinners until the big day comes. Leo's group's food will be provided by Meiju-san, and Cyrus's by the captain.
Leo-san, Wayne-san, you'd better look forward to some exquisite Chinese cooking.
Are you kidding me? I don't really like Chinese food.
That is because you have never eaten it. Such a shame.
Actually, I've had Chinese. They make some really good food.
Before the decisive day comes, I shall give you a thorough instruction in China's 4,000 years of delicious food.
Well, to be fair, I've only gotten to experience at least 10 of those years. If you throw in some delicious Chinese women, I've got no complaints. On my end, we've got to log our expenses. I'll be paying for Cyrus's group out of my own pocket.
Hold on there, Captain. You better not be stingy on a meal before a fight, eh?
Please, let me slide with stew and sandwiches. I'll be using my mom's special recipe.
We're having the captain's homemade food? Talk about a difference in treatment.
Don't say that, it's really good. I'll bring beer too, okay?
Well, that's different then. Bring on the fucking alcohol, bitches. Get us a keg and we'll forgive you. Jeez.
That's not funny. Why should an unmarried girl be stuck eating food made by a guy who isn't even her boyfriend?
Oh, it's homemade food! Homemade food has a taste that store-bought stuff could never match up to. Stella-chan, that really does hurt.
Leo, come on and swap groups with me. I'm feeling like some Chinese right about now.
You lucky bastard. Don't worry, I wouldn't dare get between you and your homemade sandwiches.
How could anyone be so hungry right before a bloodbath? You've got my respect, old guys.
Better not take food grudges lightly, my friends. If I die like this, I'll come back and curse you all. You say something, Richard? You'd rather have a Manchu Han Imperial feast too, wouldn't you?
As long as good tea is being served, nothing else matters to me. God, calm down.
So I'm on tea serving duty again until the big day.
Oh my god. I've had Chinese. Homemade is still like the best. The atmosphere eventually lined up, and for a short while, the tension of the impending showdown was swept aside. This small surprise was something Rose had decided on and prepared for. To Leo, it seemed very much like Rose to show this sort of consideration before the final confrontation.
You probably understand, but
Yes, I know.
this isn't a final showdown.
That's right. It isn't a fight to end anything. It's a fight to start up a new City 23. Because our true fight starts after we defeat Caleb-san.
That's right. We can't let ourselves get killed in the opening scene.
Exactly.
There's only one thing I can say for sure.
What's that?
I really can't wait for some pecking duck.
Oh my god. That was cute.
Yes, darling. Are your lodgings tonight comfortable?
It's just like you said. Carrying a familiar pillow around with you isn't really so bad.
You really are faithful to a fault, aren't you? You really did it?
I told you, didn't I? I don't listen to men, but I always listen to what women say. I always faithfully follow what my mom and my wife told me.
And you're putting me in that group? Thank you.
I hear you've started spending your nights at Primavera.
Yes, I've been feeling worn out too.
That's careless of you.
What comes will come. And anyway, if something happened to me, you'd come to my rescue, wouldn't you?
Of course. I'd leap into hell to come save you.
Whether it's flattery or not, it pleases me to hear you say that.
You know I'm not considerate enough for flattery.
That's true enough. Hey, Caleb,
What?
you said you'd leap into hell to come save me.
Yeah, I said it.
Does that mean you would be willing to die with me?
You might as well take it that way. You're the last woman I'll ever have. My wife came first, but there'll be no one after you. So when it's time to die, I'll stick with you till the end.
Thank you. Of all your sweet words, those are the best.
Someday, I'd like to stand alongside you again as we chat about these silly things.
You can. We'll have all the time in the world in the pit of hell.
Sounds great. We can get some demons to fill our glasses.
Hey, Caleb, you must have started to see it by now, haven't you?
Huh? What are you talking about?
You really mean that?
Yeah. Not knowing when to give up's my only good point. Okay, that was a little weird.
You must be worn out by now.
Not at all.
We are already old. We can't pick fights with people yelling, screaming, and running around anymore. Much less changing beds every night. Neither of us can keep it up. In your life up until now, I imagine you've challenged everything, experiencing all kinds of things. But did you know that there's one thing you've never done?
Oh? I can't imagine what.
You've never thrown everything aside and run away. To throw all those troublesome responsibilities and ideals away and run.
True enough. That does sound like it'd be pretty fun if it were possible.
You've never done it, have you? It feels great, you know.
So us leaving the city with nothing more than a suitcase.
Wonderful, isn't it? Try to imagine.
Obediently, Caleb imagined it. It was a beautiful scene, like something in a black and white film from the good old days. How wonderful it'd be if the actor in that scene were himself.
Not bad. It'd be even better if the words, "the end" appeared and everything faded to black. However, sorry. But I can't. I voiced my ideals, and a great many people have been sacrificed. There were already so many people who gave up their lives because they had the same dream as me. After all that, I can't even consider being the only one to live on. Aww.
If you're that resolved to do it, doesn't it get a little ridiculous?
True. Pretty pathetic, right?
Would you like to have a drink sometime soon? You can at least give me that much, can't you?
Yeah. Miguel will probably complain, but I've been feeling the same way.
You're always drinking with him, aren't you? Drink with me every now and then. Where are you now?
I'll be checking out of here soon. Let's meet at the next place.
Where are you staying next?
We drank together there earlier. You know, the one with the great bar that had a fish tank.
Oh, I remember. Wasn't that the Belton?
The Belton Plaza Hotel.
Oh, shit! Okay, that changes things immensely.
October 20th, 1974, a Monday. Weather cloudy. 20.6 degrees Celsius high, 14 degrees Celsius low. It was recorded as an overcasted, not unpleasant day. Oh, okay. Oh boy. More than 2 weeks had passed since Leo's and Cyrus's groups had split up and started waiting at their respective hideouts. The initial tension had faded, and most of the people there were spending the day casually, probably not expecting it to be any different from yesterday. Okay, things are immediately changed. Oh no, this changes things immensely. 2 hideouts had been set up around the Belton Plaza Hotel to observe the front and back of that building. Leo's group of 3 people had hidden out in the building with a view of the hotel's front, while Major's underlings had done the same behind the hotel. Okay, this is a bit of a problem. 6:29 p.m. They received a call in fluent Japanese from a Chinese man observing the back of the hotel.
Leo-kun! He says Caleb-san's here!
So, he's finally appeared. Should we contact Cyrus? Held up a bit. Rose, contact their man inside the hotel. Let's double check. Have him confirm that it's definitely Caleb.
Yeah, I'm having him do that now. We're waiting to hear back from him.
For a while they glared at the unringing phone, quivering in anticipation. Was it a false report or the truth? Finally the phone rang. Rose snatched it up.
Okay. He says it just came in, no doubt about it.
Leo!
It's time. Tell Cyrus and the captain that our guest has checked in. And that's where I'm going to end it. I feel like shit's really about to hit the fan, and it's probably going to last quite a while, so I want to dedicate an entire video. I want to try to dedicate an entire video to that. That's what I want to do, hopefully. I'm sorry that I'm kind of blue-balling you guys here, but it feels like we're really gonna be, getting into the thick of it. Also, I had forgotten to brew my freaking tea, now my throat is killing me. Ah, God. I need to start setting a reminder that tells me that, okay, you need to brew this type of tea because you're recording this. Because here's a fun fact. Whenever I'm doing like this or Higurashi, or something where I have to do all the voices by myself, I brew myself some tea, specifically chamomile or Earl Grey. Although I just recently bought some chai, I wanted to try that one. But anyway, that's where I'm gonna end it. We're gonna have ourselves a hell of a thing, we're gonna have a hell of a war in the next episode. Now that things are changed dramatically now that Amanda's here. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hello there everybody, Sabato92 here, and if you like this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And hey, if you guys like my content, then maybe you'd like to check out another channel who I think deserves equal attention. So click that nightmare emblem and check out that channel, or go to the links in the description down below. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.